Are there further questions for Senator Norris, Senator Berke?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator Norris, I appreciate your work on this bill. A couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
Number one is, I want to make clear that I assume that if this were to pass out of this committee and go forward, the previous versions had in there that there would be a county vote on this particular legislation or this transfer, and I'm assuming that is your intent is not to have a county-wide vote. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Second question I have is, we have, as I've understood it over the last week or two, and perhaps longer, we've had the commissioner and the governor attempting to come in and essentially do what it is that you say your bill is designed to do, which is to ensure that there's an orderly transfer of operations, and that there is the opportunity for these parties to work out the best transition plan they possibly can, assuming that it's ratified on March 8th. Right. So my question is, why are we interfering with what Governor Haslam and Commissioner Smith are trying to do?
We're not.
Why not? I mean, they've told the county and the city what they think they need to have. Why can't we let them work it out without us getting involved?
Would that they could. And of course, we've talked with the administration consistently throughout the process of coming up with the amendment that's before you. I think I know what you're trying to say, but I think even they realize that the issue outlined by the commissioner yesterday, and the dates were put in there because of the pending referendum, and not wanting to interfere with it, that's pretty short fuse. And our understanding is from the professionals who actually provide the education in these systems that with all due respect, they're trying to say without seeming defiant that it can't be done. So this would allow the vote to go forward, but assure an orderly process for planning in order to really carry out their wishes. So again, we're not trying to interfere. We're trying to deal with, it's not a game where we're changing the rules in the middle of the game. It's a new game. It's a game for which there aren't any rules, and that's what we're trying to do.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to get into technicality. I mean, the rules are changing. Whether you call it a new game or the same game, these are changing the rules. And it seemed to me that, I mean, you said something that I wrote down because it seemed to be, I think, a good model for how we go about looking at this. And you used the term enhance self-determination. One of the things that it seems to me about letting the governor and the commissioner and the school systems try to work through this issue is that they may, in fact, enhance self-determination. But when we pass a bill that says that they're going to wait 3 years before they do anything, I'm not sure how that enhances self-determination. I mean, why is it that we have to wait 3 years?
Well, why did your county take 3 years to do the same thing?
Well, if they want to take 3 years, then that would be fine. That's them doing it. I mean, it seems to me that I've listened for the last several years to people complaining about Washington controlling us. And here we are, Nashville, trying to control Memphis. That's a serious issue. And so I want to make sure that there is order and not chaos. But the concern that I have with this is that we are in fact creating more chaos for 3 years rather than order.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, again, why not 2 years? Why not 1 year? Why 3 years? Why not? Why put a time limit in it at all?
Well, if I told you that a high-ranking official in the city of Memphis suggested to me 13 years, this would look like quite a deal.
Well, some high-ranking official might have said 13 years. Some might have said 13 days. I've got to vote on the amendment before me, and I'm asking you why 3 years.
Well, we used your hometown and your county as a yardstick, Senator, and seemed like a pretty good process they undertook. And if I remember correctly, your town and county is almost minuscule compared to the number of people involved in this transfer. So it seemed like a reasonable time frame to use, and frankly, those with whom we were speaking in trying to work out the legislation seemed to agree. But I'm sure that reasonable minds could differ, and you are certainly a reasonable person, and if we have a difference, then at least you know where I stand, and I know where you sit.
Well, I appreciate that, and we certainly, when we have a bad an over enhanced self-image, we don't think of ourselves as minuscule. But in Hamilton County, it seems to me that you say that you're not trying to defeat this thing or stop it, that you're trying to enhance this. But the combination of the time period that it takes to do this, plus the implicit threat at the end of lifting the ban on the special school district creation, sure does give a different feel, at least from my seat. So I appreciate the work, and it does seem like there is an opportunity, as I said earlier, to create some kind of order out of the chaos. I just don't believe this is it.